Hi friends, welcome back. So today we are going to be doing a plant rehab, which are one of my favorite videos to do. I have a lot of fun with them. So let me show you the plant that I have. This is it. This is some type of Dracaena, I believe. I got it from, what's the place called? Menards. I got it from Menards. Wade and I went there. We were looking for stuff for the trailer, and this was on sale for $5 for this full plant. Obviously, it doesn't look very healthy, but I think that with some care, maybe a repot and some water, that it'll bounce back just fine. And there are like 1, 2, 3, 4 different stalks in here, and most of them have multiple growth points, so I could potentially make, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 plants out of this if I wanted to. So I'm going to cut it up, and I'm going to keep one plant for myself and have the rest as like business plants for the trailer, which is a common theme in my videos recently if you haven't noticed. But yeah, we're getting ready and preparing for that, so I thought that it would be a lot of fun to not only rescue a plant that I could keep for myself, but also rescue a plant that other people would be able to enjoy. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the roots. Okay, so there is some water in here, so I'm not too worried about it being underwatered. I think the reason it's probably looking so bad is because it was in the garden section, which is like still outside. And it's been pretty cold here recently. There is some like slow release fertilizer in the soil, so I might honestly like reuse some of it just because I don't want the fertilizer to go to waste. So I'm just gonna start with breaking the soil up a bit. Today is my birthday. By the time you're watching this, it won't be, but today we're going to Evansville here in a little bit. Wade and I are going to go to like some thrift stores maybe. And then his parents are taking us out to dinner later. I think we're going to go to Yak and Yeti, which is a like Indian food place in Evansville that I really like recently. So I'm pretty excited about that. Here is the biggest plant. Not too many roots, as you can see, compared to the foliage. You know, you gotta move. You gotta move. Okay. So, as you can see, there are 2 plants here. And so what I might end up doing is cutting this one off and just sticking this in like water or something, which I've done before and it seems to have worked. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. So I'm just gonna take my shears and these aren't very, there we go. So So now I have this, and I'll probably cut off some of the more unhealthy leaves here in a minute. But for now, I'm just going to set these off to the side. Here's a little one. Here is plant number 2. Has some decent roots. Set that off to the side. I really enjoy doing plant rehabs, and they're also some of my favorite videos to watch, like other people do. So let me know if you guys enjoy these videos as well, because they're really fun for me. It feels better to buy a plant that is much less expensive, knowing that you'll be able to potentially save it. These roots look really healthy. So I don't think it's the roots that are the issue. I think it's just the fact that it was in the cold. And it is going to lose quite a bit of roots just from me breaking it up so much, but I'm not too worried about it. Here is another one, and there are 2 plants in here. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave these attached. Leave them together. And they have some good healthy looking roots as well. I do think I'm going to reuse the soil just because it looks pretty good. And the plant seems to be enjoying being in there, the roots anyway. So if the roots are happy with the soil, I think that's a good sign. Okay, so this is what they're looking like. I want to cut off some of the unhealthy leaves. So the thing about these plants is that they have a bare stem, a lot of them do, and I don't really want that showing, but the root system isn't big enough for me to want to up-pot it to where I could cover the stem. So what I think I'm gonna do is cut this. And then I'll propagate that in water. And then this one I can just go ahead and pot in here, and it'll sprout new growth points from at least this one, if not this one as well. This one looks like it might be, yeah, it's kind of going on its way out. But this one should regrow right here anyway. I'm also not too worried about like the dead roots that are in the pot. Because I'm not seeing any signs of root rot, so I'm not worried about bacteria or anything, and the roots will just decompose and shouldn't really mess with the plant too much, so I'm not too worried about it. So here's this first one. It's not too exciting right now, but it will be once it starts to regrow. Set that one off to the side. This one I might use a bigger pot for. Yeah, I think I'm going to use this one. I think this is a 6-inch pot. And it's a little big for the roots, but I'm not too worried about it. Because it'll grow back pretty quick, I believe. And I want to give plenty of space for the stem to root in as well, because I don't want a lot of bare stem showing. I want to be able to root it into the soil, just because I don't really like the look of it that much. I think it looks cool to some extent, but too much of it in the plant just looks kind of odd looking. So I'm just gonna try to cover up as much of the stem as I can. And because I didn't before I repotted, I'm gonna just go ahead and cut off a bunch of the unhealthier leaves. I think I'm gonna go ahead and pot this one into this size pot. There's this little guy. I've got this one, which I think I do want to leave attached to each other. But first, I want to cut off some of the leaves. What I think I'm going to do is cut that part off, which I am losing some roots by doing this, but that's okay. But this way I can bury the plant deeper into the pot and it'll look a bit better. Now we've got this really long stem with one plant. It doesn't have a lot of roots on it, but there are some new growth points, and it's a really thick stem. So it probably is storing a lot of nutrients for the plant. So I don't really want to cut it off. I don't know what to do with this one. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to pot it into this large pot, the 6-inch pot, which will be okay. It'll look a little wonky at first, and I'll have to be careful not to overwater, but that'll be fine. And then we have these 3 bare ones that I'm gonna cut some more leaves off of real quick. That's good. I've really enjoyed Dracaena ever since I rehabbed that one from Impressed. I just think that they're really neat, like that you can grow them in so many different ways. Like that one that I had to cut back to a complete stump and it looked really weird, that one is like doing super well now. So yeah, I have a lot of confidence that these plants are gonna root up and grow just fine. So these I'm just going to stick into some water with probably some Super Thrive and just let them root up for a while. But I am going to let them sit for a bit and callus over just so that it will prevent some root rot. And then these are the 4 potted plants that I have. The one with no stem, and then these 3. So I'm just going to take these to my sink and hose them off a little bit, just to make sure there's no pests or anything. And then I'll probably just go ahead and put them on my plant shelf in the bedroom. I have had this plant quarantining for probably a week now, so I'm not too worried about pests or anything. But I do just want to hose it off just as a precaution. And when we open up our trailer around February, hopefully you guys will be seeing some of these plants ready to go. Alright friends, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!